Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Get my position correct. Okay, good. You can see me. I felt like I was kind of close up, hiding the two buns and my forehead and top of my face. But this is my second video uploading. I am very proud of the first one. I look back at it for my own editing purposes, and I was very proud of it. So thank you for whoever watched it, whether it was 5 views, 2 views. I'm grateful, however, and I'm gonna continue to try to make a few videos for my channel. And like I said before in the first previous one to this one, all kinds of subjects that I want to talk about that cross my mind, and it may resonate with a few of you guys out there who may be watching or stumble across whatnot. As a YouTube junkie like myself, I like all kinds of videos. I was watching some today, so I thought I'd make another one before I head out for a jog and a run on this beautiful fall, crisp-like but foggy day, kind of, because of the fires in California. First thing foremost, I want to send my heart and deepest, sympathies to the people over in California. I know a couple people in various parts of California, San Francisco, San Diego, Palm Springs, and a few other places. And my heart and my prayers, and I know that's a cliche, but I am a spiritual person. I am a believer in Christ, and I just the main thing, tongue tie, blah, that you can do is, offer sympathies and prayers. You can definitely donate, but I think the fact that you can think about people and definitely empathize and have some kind of compassion for those who are suffering, who lost their homes, the loss of life, sadly. I saw the 1-year-old baby and the 13-year-old and his grandmother, and people's properties and homes, as well as their pets, and the wildlife, and just the whole environment. It's very heartbreaking and devastating, what's happening to the planet, let alone the world in this year. This year has really been a year, and I said that in a previous video about the pandemic, the toxic political stuff that's happening, and the racial division, and the brutality, and now the person attacking cops and shooting the cops in the parked car. It's all terrible, and it's just, God, where is this silver lining, and what is next year going to be? I mean, there's 3 more months: October, November, December, so however, that's definitely what I wanted to put out there first and foremost, that my thoughts, my prayers, my heart is definitely with those in California who are suffering from these devastating fires, this devastating smoke and ashes in the air, and those who have lost loved ones and their, God forbid, their pets and their animals and whatnot, and those who are missing, hopefully that they're found safely. And the hurricanes, I mean, it's just never ending. Now there are hurricanes, threatening the Gulf Coast. But today I wanted to talk about, this afternoon rather, here, about keeping it real. For a long time, for a while, we always hear people say, "Oh, I'm just being real," or "I'm keeping it real and honest." And I try to be. That's one of my daily mantras: is being honest, being real, being upfront. I can't be fake or phony. If I'm down or sad, it's written all over my face in my Beyonce voice. If I'm going through something, I do wear it. I can't. And I tend to be very quiet to myself or whatnot, and I try to get myself together before I articulate it, whether it's to my mom, my lovely mom, phenomenal adoptive mom, or my friends, at the time, or people in my life, or if there's a guy I'm seeing or dating or whatnot. And I'm grateful for all my friends and associates. Lord knows they've been saints and angels in my life when I've needed most. But, I definitely believe in keeping it real and honest. We live in the midst of all this going on, but I think at times a culture that is, obsessed with, I think the fantasy and the smoke and mirrors, whether it's the Hollywood lifestyle or the social media, filters, and, thinking everyone's life is happy because they're posting certain things. And right now, I think a lot of people are going through it on the same playing field, whether it's, like I said, the pandemic, or whether it's, loss of a loved one, sicknesses or illnesses, financial troubles, all kinds of things, joblessness, and, trying to make ends meet, trying to, get up every day and continue to try. But I do believe I think that's honesty and being real and being truthful, is a good transparency. I think a lot of times for me, the people I have and the relationships I have in my life still to this day, and even some of the most lovely men that I've dated, have been because I've been myself. And because I'm very comfortable in my skin. I'm not perfect, by all means, I'm not. Sorry, there's a siren. Fire department not far from here. My apologies. I'm not, far from perfect. I definitely am on my own journey of, finding myself continuously, getting, trying to focus on my studies and wanting to go into my career of journalism and, continue to believe and have faith and hope, even in these times of uncertainty and unprecedentedness. And, when it doesn't look like the sun is going to shine again, I try to have some kind of hope, if not even a tiny mustard seed of it, and prayer and faith that I will prevail, I will get through. And a lot of that is being truthful and being honest. First and foremost, being real and truthful to myself. And of course, being real and truthful to those in my life and those that I enter the lives of. And, a lot of times I think, the other side of keeping it real and honest is the bluntness and, the disrespect and the ignorance. I know some people say, well, I'm just keeping it real, my homeboy or girl or whatever, however people refer and converse. And yeah, a lot of times people can be, I think, blunt and ignorant and cruel. Oh, her shoes are a mess, and oh, her weave is this, and oh, he looks like that, and he has this all over his face. I'm just keeping it real, or I'm just, being real. And I think that's where keeping it real is wrong. We see the stupid stuff on social media, people posting certain things and oversharing. And thinking to me, that's what keeping it real is wrong. Thinking that, oh, I'm being real and I'm being transparent, and to each his own. I'm not judging. I'm just basically, I guess, have an opinion on it. And I think that, yeah, if that's you, if you choose to share and overshare, you also have to be aware that it's gonna, the other side of that is backlash, controversy, people not agreeing with it, people having an opinion. Another siren, my apologies. So, that's my take on keeping it real and honest. I think, again, so sorry, you guys. It's loud. It's literally my front of my apartment is in the other room, so I'm glad to make these videos in the comfort of my bedroom, here, because had I been in my living room area, I would have been probably, drowned out by the sirens, because we have, like I said, a fire department right up the street from where I am, on our street, in the city living, hashtag. But to make a long story short, back on topic and subject, that's my thing, and I try to be very cautious of what I share personally. On my social media, I love social media. It's definitely a way to connect and stay in touch with friends and family, especially at these, such uncertain and unprecedented times. Having friends in California right now with the fires, and having friends in the Midwest, in the middle of the country when things are happening, whether it's the hurricanes and God forbid something else, and with this pandemic, and being quarantined, keeping safe in our homes, and isolating, and being socially distant from all the groups and whatnot, and not seeing everyone, not seeing all our family members or our friends or whatnot. It's a way to stay connected, and I like it for those purposes. It's networking for me, school-wise. It's networking for me, professionalism-wise. I'm friends and connected with a lot of people in media. Fortunately, on Instagram particularly, when I can't see my friends and can't talk with them, or whatnot, being in each other's space, it's a way, to stay connected. And there are moments and things that go on in my life that I want to share, and then there are some things that go on, and I'm like, I don't want to be post-triggered. I don't want to share this. This is too much, and I try to do a lot of self-thinking, self-evaluating, processing with myself before, and like I said, to each his own. There's some people who are very, very real. What you see is what you get. I am to a degree, the same thing, which I'll talk about more so as I continue to make videos, my adoption background. I'm very honest and real about this. Someone, speaking of YouTube, asked me that today, about my parents and the parental situation. And when I was put into foster care, the system, where was my mother, and why did my dad, because my mom abandoned me, long story short, where was my father? And I'm sorry if I'm asking too much information. This, person said respectfully, and I said, no, it's okay. It's the reality. It's my story. And I know it's not just my story. There are lots of people in this earth, in this, not just this country, USA, but this planet and other parts of the world who have been adopted. The systems and, other laws and processes, I'm sure, are very different in certain places, even state to state. But I think everyone's adoption story, foster care story, for example, is the same. And for a while, when I was younger and a teenager and still in the system and whatnot, there was not so much of a shame, but so much of a stigma that held me back from being honest and talking about it, because foster children were stigmatized, which again, I'll talk about in another video. But that's a prime example to me personally of keeping it real and honest. You know, being truthful. Hey, I slipped up. You know, being real with my grandmother. Hey, grandma, I was making the bed, and hey, I broke your ceramic vase figurine, and that's a true story. You know, and you know, something I learned as I was a child. You know, I was very structured growing up, honestly speaking. Prior to even being in the foster care system, that was one of the things that my mom did have over me, was structure and education, which I'm grateful for, if anything else, that she did not do as a parent and as a mother. And I feel like lying doesn't get anywhere. You can only get so far by being fake or phony. You know, I've had to pick and choose friends wisely. I've had to cut friends and cut ties with associations and even certain men, because I just couldn't be in this whole keeping up with appearances thing, and, you know, what they won't know won't hurt them. And I tried to be myself every day, you know, and better. You know, when I make a mistake or I slip up or I've made a crack, you know, about something that was, or a joke, call it a quote unquote joke, and I have done this years ago, and I apologize and I owned it. And the person and I are really good associates now. We keep in contact, speaking of Facebook, on Facebook. You know, because he's in another state, but he's a lovely guy. And, you know, so I do believe in being honest and truthful, and that saying the truth will set you free. I do believe that, and it's a revelation. It's very, you know, revolutionary to be yourself and to be upfront and to be you and be open about, hey, I'm feeling this way today, or hey, this is bothering me. You know, hey, sister friend, or hey, brother friend, or hey, babe or boo, however, mom, dad, cousin, cuzzo, you know, this is a problem and I want to talk to you about it, rather than, you know, taking to Twitter, taking to Facebook and ranting and raving, which we see a lot, you know, and pulling someone to the side, you know, and having that between you and that person, not having it to be publicly, you know, news or publicly all over the place. And that's just my take on being real and being honest. And, you know, I know I ran and raved a few there spontaneously, but, you know, for anyone watching and wants to leave a comment, you know, what are some of your, you know, experiences with keeping it real and honest, you know, and what do you think about it? You know, I know a lot of people, like I said, are private and guarded, and, you know, some people, you know, don't even want to talk about certain things or feel like it's worth it. But again, I do think it's something when you're honest and truthful with yourself, more importantly, and also with other people in your life and your different relationships and different people, you know, groups or whatnot in your life. And again, none of us are perfect. You know, I know, like I said, I'm still on the journey. I'm still learning. You know, I've still got a lot of life, Lord willing, in this world nowadays, where this year, if anything, has really put in perspective for me about life and living life to the fullest. And I think part of living, and one of the things about living life to the fullest, is being truthful and being real and being honest. And, you know, and sometimes having to get messy with being honest. And one more thing before I go and end the video, because I don't want to make it too long, is that, you know, when I think about, and I reflected on this earlier actually, my last relationship, which was short term, but the ex and I, and, you know, if I see him the day tomorrow, we're cool. You know, he apologized. We're in a healthy place as far as saying hi and bye, and, you know, even a small conversation, sometimes on Messenger. But, you know, we were towards the end, it was very hard. And I remember wanting to hold on and keep him and, you know, saying maybe we can work it out. And I remember one time we talked again way after, a couple months after we'd broken up, actually, and officially. He was like, well, maybe, you know, things will turn around and we'll, you know, get back to where we were. And I was like, yeah. I remember smiling and saying, you know, the little giggle, the little flirtatious giggle, you know, some of us do. But then when I thought about it again, and even after, and still reflect on this past experience, I'm like, I'm glad that it ended, and I'm glad that we had the time that we had, you know, when we ended it. We didn't talk for a while, and then we, you know, came around and apologized and talked, and even met up twice, actually. Yeah, twice. And I'm glad that happened. It wasn't awkward. Nothing happened. Like, nothing ever happened like it was before, you know, and I'll be a little personal, like intimacy or whatnot. But the fact that we were able to talk and reconnect and just go about our separate ways, I'm happy for him, and I wish him the most happiness and blessings, Lord, in the life and world and universe can give him, as I believe he wishes for me. But I learned that,